Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go through some of the best value challenger players, so let's just jump straight into it.
But if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload.
And the first player, or goalkeeper, is going to be Cengiz of Başakşehir in the Super League in Turkey. L15 to 61, L40 56, L5 to 54. He's playing really well at the moment since he looks like he's got the number one spot. Either I think he was almost back, or he's been fighting it with somebody. But it seems to be got the number one spot now. And he's doing really well, as you can see from the scores. Please take in mind, obviously, again, I will try note it when we are going through the videos and each player. But obviously he's got only a handful of games left, so for £6 it's not too bad, and even £7.60 to maybe gain you, a couple of quid, dollars, euros, whatever you sort of go with. And who knows, potentially can get you something. But like I said, not much to say on goalkeepers, guys, so it'll be quite quick and fresh. Getting you really good scores. And I don't think he's bad for the £7.60 mark for the in-season. The other goalie, I have got Ivicic from New England, has just recently moved to New England. Now, from what I can gather, as you can see here, the L5 and L15 is 0. Like I said, he has just moved to New England from Portland Timbers. As you can see here, it's been his last sort of official game with Portland Timbers back on the 24th of March, so literally about a month or so ago. And I think this guy is meant to be a half decent goalkeeper. There was tales, I think, into Miami, I should say. I think we're looking at him if the rumours were to be true. And so the rumours is that the coach of New England prefers Ivicic over the current goalkeeper. So as you can see here from the Play Sharper experts, Revs, he says Ivicic was probably meant to start last week against Miami before becoming sick. So he will gain. He gets the edge here in this upcoming game against Chicago Fire, which is on the 5th. While I personally disagree with the call, that's what Porter, the manager, apparently wants. My guess it will be a rotation similar to those we saw in previous years. So it looks like there might be some rotation. Whether it's heavy or not, I'm not sure. But it could be just when they get a load of games coming in a week or two's time. So I think it's another reason to pick him up. And for the £4.84 mark for the classic card, doesn't seem like he has any in-season new cards at the moment as a time recording, because like I said, he's just moved to the Revs. So maybe in good time, but you can still use him in the classic for, like I said, £4.84. And if he does play just a handful of games during this time, there's loads and loads of games you can potentially utilise him in. So again, I don't think he's too bad, especially that the MLS season has just started also. So again, that's another positive to Ivicic. Now onto the defenders, and this one's a slightly weird one and maybe a little risky, but I'm not too sure. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. Obviously, of course, make sure you do your own research, but I've gone for Alan Franco of Sao Paulo, obviously in the Brazilian league, and the Argentine is doing quite decently at the moment, as you can see from his L15 or L5, even though he's only got 27%. So when we look at his scores, for example, they are actually really nice scores. I think the 30, he came on from the bench, didn't have the best of games, but again, this is a really weird one. He seems to be getting a run of games at the moment because it seemed like he was just used every now and again. But now he's done quite well. He's had a difficult fixture at home to Palmeiras, who are the best club in Brazil. So again, got to take that in mind. They drew 0-0 with that. So they might think this guy is a good defender to have back there. And as you can see, both attack, possession, defence, and his general were all positive AA, hitting that nearly 25 AA mark, which is really nice. So like I said, this guy is a bit risky because he might come into some play of rotation. They do play quite a lot of games in Brazil. You can see here, game week 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-9, 80, 81. They play a lot of games back to back, basically on the weekend, midweek, and that's because Sao Paulo, for example, are in the Serie A, obviously in Brazil, and also in the Libertadores, which is also that cup competition that they run in South America. And so I think if this guy gets his if he stays I guess what fit or is the mainstay in that defence, then I think for £3 it's not too bad at all, considering he's not really hit under a 50 before, bar the one time there, maybe there of course, but so maybe not, but he's still hitting more 50 pluses than he is not. So I think this guy's a really, really solid shout. He's played 72 minutes there, 90 and 90. So like I said, just take it with a pinch of salt, but I think Alan Franco is definitely worth the crack. And as you can see here, I have done that. I put my money where my mouth is as well, because I think someone like this is going to do really good. And once obviously you've got to remember, guys, when the Premier League in the top 5 leagues have all stopped, you've got players like this from the Brazilian League, Argentinian League, etc. to utilise over the summer. Now the other defender is going to be slightly more expensive, and it's going to be Brandon Michele of Club Bruges in Belgium. As you can see here, L5 of 62, L15 of 54, and L40 of 59. Very, very nice indeed. As you can see there, you can get his limited for £5.76 or his floor price of his new in-season card, which is £6.22. It's cheap because, again, only has a handful of games now. Club Bruges are in the Conference League at the moment, Europa Conference League, and they do have to play Fiorentina home and away. So some midweek utility there for you. As you can see, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-7, 7-9. So he's got quite a few game weeks left in comparison to other Belgium League teams, because obviously, like I said, they're not usually in the Europa League or Europa Conference, whereas Club Bruges are. So yeah, I think there's extra utility for him, if I can speak, which is really, really good. And you can see here, he doesn't really put a foot wrong when it comes to the team as well. They're on a good run of form. You can see Club Bruges here, and he lost 1 in like the last 10, which is not bad at all. And you can see here, over the last 3 months, he's been hitting 19.3 worth of AA. Over the last 6 was 23, and the last month has been 29.4. So again, like I said, it looks like he gets used all year round, essentially. If we look at this last 6 months, he's only missed 1 game, and that was, I think it was when they were clear through the round of the Europa Conference. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong with that, or he might have just been ill or something that particular day. But yeah, I think this guy's really, really good, solid shout. £6.22 for an in-season. Utilise him in the midweeks. There's not many teams left and remaining in those those special Europe nights, I think they're called. So yeah, really utilise them, guys. But that's Brandon Michele of only just £6. Okay, now look away, Minnesota fans, if there are any out there. I have Emmanuel Reynoso of Minnesota, currently of Minnesota United. Now, the problem with this guy at the moment, as you can see here, it says injury personal. Now, the deal with this guy at the moment is that he basically does not want to come back to Minnesota. He did this last season at the start of the MLS season for Minnesota. He apologised and he ended up coming back and actually scoring and doing really well for Minnesota. Unfortunately, he's done the same thing this time round, and he's just staying put. He's missed countless amount of flights and that he's been booked, and he's just staying in with his family in Argentina. So he just seems to be staying put there. Now why I'm showing this guy is because I think he's showing really, really good value for when he does start again. So who knows if he'll come back to Minnesota. I'm not sure if Eric Ramsey, the current Minnesota United head coach or manager, will accept him back. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think for £6.60 for his new in-season card and £2.77, I think do provide great value, and this might be a long-term hold. Now I get the feeling he's going to do one or two things. Now he's either going to stay in the MLS but move to, I think, Minnesota, like maybe a bigger club, like I don't know, like an LA Galaxy or an LAFC, or I don't know, something of that sort of caliber, a well-known team within the MLS franchise. Now, he can either do that, or he might go to Argentina and just stay in Argentina. Now, what club that will be, I'm not sure. Obviously, we can prefer him to go to a racing club, Boca Juniors, River Plate. There they would be really, really nice for him if he does move, because I still feel like he can rip up the league. I think he is that good. I think he's too good for the MLS. MLS fans out there, but I do think he does rip it up every time, and this scores show so. So as you can tell with Reynoso, he hits hundreds for fun at times. Sort of, not gave up, but didn't do very well to the end of the season. And as you can see here, this is basically the start of the season. He came on for 30 minutes, got 9 worth of AA, which is okay. But just since then, he's just refused to come back from Argentina. Now, like I said, this is going to be going one or two ways. So this is a high risk, high reward thing, I believe. As you can see here from his price graph, just even a month ago, his in season was going for £20. So yeah, I think he's going to go really, really well. As you can see, I picked him up here quite a while ago for about 11. But when this man plays again here, he can go upwards of 20, 30, 40 pounds quite easily, because he is that good, I feel. If we look at his stats for all time, again, just nutty scores all over the place. And I believe he's been at Minnesota his whole career. And you can see here, Boca Juniors, just the back end of Boca Juniors there for when he has been on Sorare. So other than that, yeah, I think this guy's a brilliant player. I think he's probably being a bit silly out in Argentina for Minnesota, so I do feel for the fans. But yeah, that doesn't stop this guy being a good player, and who knows who he moves to in Argentina. That's obviously my inkling. There's no facts or anything like that behind it, but I think this guy, if he comes back into the fold, whether that is with Minnesota or another MLS team, or somewhere like Argentina, I think this guy's just going to rip it up, and you're picking up someone who's worth 20, 30, 40 pounds in the in-season, in my personal opinion, not financial advice. And he can easily skyrocket, I think. So, or you're just getting really good value for a player who's really cheap at the moment because of his circumstances. Now, the man who needs no introduction, and Dusan Tadic. Yes, I just did introduce him, but who cares? Yeah, the Serbian for Fenerbahce obviously plays in the Super League in Turkey. The midfielder has done really, really well. Well, not really, really well. He's done quite well. I think people were expecting more of the heights of the time he was at Ajax. As you can see here, hitting hundreds, all this stuff for fun. Even the last few, just the back end of his time at Ajax. But you can see over the last year for Fenerbahce, hasn't quite hit the heights of 90s, 100s, but he's hitting quite consistent scoring 60s and above, which is really, really nice. Obviously, of course, hitting 28 decisive actions, 14 goals, 14 assists in the 45 appearances he has made for Fenerbahce. And I think showing the floor price for £4.61 for in-season, obviously not £9.45 for the Classic. His last sale was worth £4.40, so obviously it's going to be cheaper. You just have to wait for that. But he will obviously be cheaper than his in-season, or it should be. Anyway, again, you got to take it with a pinch of salt. The Super League, 1, 2, 3, 4 games there only remaining. But one extra benefit to this guy is obviously he's going to go to the UEFA Nations. Well, I would presume he was going. Again, let me know in the comments if he is not. But again, home to Spain, Denmark, Switzerland, Spain. Yeah, so it's going to be a difficult round for him. But because he's a midfielder, I think he could get amongst the goals. And they're going to have, I believe, Vlahovic is going to be up front for Serbia. So they've got a good couple of players, I think, in Serbia, and they could, give these sort of teams a run for their money. Now we move on to the forwards. It's going to be Luis Henrique of Botafogo in the Brazilian League. Recently moved to the Brazilian League from Real Betis, as you can see from his picture in the background there. L5 of 55, which is nice because he's starting to pick up some sort of form, and I can show you that now. As you can see here, if we get rid of that and go to Botafogo, he's only just really started. You can see here, he had the games with DMPs, had his first sub appearance, and then he's starting now. Now, if we take it in mind of him just starting so far, I think they are good, respectable scores. Again, nothing amazing, but I think for the value, for £4.30 to £7, is really, really good. And obviously you're thinking maybe, I can buy Tadic for £4. Well, yeah, Botafogo are in the Libertadores, and like I said, in the Serie A of the Brazilian league, and they go all season. Obviously, they literally just, I think, started again. So you've got a massive amount of utility to utilise this guy in. And yeah, so I think for £7 for his in-season, I think provides really good value. I really do. And his classic being £4.30, I think can help you obtain a bunch of boxes, potentially even cards later on in the thing. And he has some, like I said, Libertadores is really, really handy for him. Looks to have played in that as well against, I believe, their Chilean team, Universitario. And yeah, so it seems to be starting. He did make a big money move there, but yeah, I think he's going to do quite decently there. Obviously, he is Brazilian as well, probably feels at home again. And yeah, I think with that, all the games he has, quite favourable games he has, Botafogo, I think, are quite decent at scoring in general. And yeah, I think Luis Enrique is going to help them because, like I said, he was bought for quite a big money fee for a Brazilian side. And yeah, they're going to want to utilise him and use him as much as they can. And now the last player is going to be Juan Lucero, who plays for Fortaleza in, again, the Brazilian league. And the Argentine is doing really well, actually, at the moment, especially for the price. Obviously, there's no in-season, unfortunately, because Fortaleza don't have the licensing so far, I don't think, with Sorare. So who knows, they could, they could release something in the next coming weeks, months. As you can see here in the offers, yeah, just all previous cards, unfortunately. So if you're looking for an in-season card, probably turn away now. But I think this guy, again, for a classic, fun card, you see here, he's doing really decently so far at the moment. Now, my only worry with this guy is that he does get those random subs, which I will put that out there. His team in general are on an absolute run here, haven't lost a game in like 15. So I think the random sub appearance for the last one, just the game we've just gone, is because they played on the 26th of April and then had a game on the 28th. So literally 2 days later, I should say. So yeah, he's obviously just being rested for that. And I think so far so good. So far in this season, if we get rid of any other appearances, he has 4 games, 5 goals and 1 assist. So yeah, he's on red hot form at the moment for a team who is in red hot form. And I think to provide only a really good value of only just £4 for the classic, I think it's really, really, really good value. But if he does become floor, he'll be 10 plus, 15 plus pounds, I believe. Still has a contract till December 31st, 2025 as well, so a good couple of years left in him. And very much like Luis Enrique, not Luis Enrique, that's a completely different person. Yeah, Serie A in Brazil and also playing in the Sudamericana Cup as well. So yeah, again, a lot of utility, but just take in mind when and where he has those, those fixtures where it's like, I don't know, for example, it's the 1st of May at the time of recording. He could, let's say, play on the 5th, but then they have a game again in 2-3 days' time on the 7th or 8th. And so obviously take in mind that he might not play that game because he is on the wrong side of 30 for a footballer. But yeah, as you can see with the L5 of 70, just goes to show he is in red hot form.
And if you're new here, guys, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified every time I upload.